Hello guys, welcome to Sim UK. This is Airport Madness 3D version 2 and not Airport Madness 3D and a half, which is how I originally read this. So this is basically an updated version of Airport Madness 3D 1. And there's a bit of an issue around this game because what you get here in this was kind of theoretically promised in the previous version with the additional airports and such, but there have been some noticeable updates in version 2 which may or may not have been better suited as maybe a DLC or perhaps even a patch for version 1. Now this game is priced at half the price that you would pay for Tower 3D Pro, and basically it's an arcade equivalent of being an ATC controller. So let's just have a quick look around here and see what we can see. If we go into settings, you can see that we've got control over the traffic rate from 0 to 10. 5 is obviously in the middle, but it's actually kind of pretty hectic even at that rate. On some airports, it will provide so many aeroplanes that you cannot actually manage the aircraft that are coming in. For example, if you only have one runway, you need to turn them round at the end and taxi back along the runway to get the aircraft off and into the terminal. And even at level 5, it's quite tricky to manage that. So this game, in terms of difficulty, it's going to be challenging for anybody. You can set this any way you like, and it will challenge you. It will most definitely challenge you. Some things are the same as before. You've got the ability to raise or lower the height of the tower, music, sound, voices, all that kind of thing. Let's turn music off for a bit. You've got the weather, which unfortunately is either on or off. I don't like that. I think it would be better if it just sort of, randomized between the two. Fake dynamic weather or something. The tweet comments just basically give you a running commentary on how well you're doing as the ATC. The tags give you information about the aircraft, and swipe direction can be inverted, and radar overlay can be hidden or shown. So, not really much new stuff there. This is where the new stuff comes in. We've got John F. Kennedy Airport, which wasn't, it kind of was in one of the previous versions as a 2D, and now it's available as a 3D as a 3D airport. And John F. Kennedy, which I have played on Tower 3D Pro, is quite complex, an airport to manage. And in this game, it's it's really going to test you. It's really going to test you in a number of ways, partly because it's difficult to manage all the aircraft on the ground, but also because the controls and information available to you is a tad limited. But we'll go into that in a bit. So when I was referring to runways with single airports with single runways, Lukla Airport is a good example of that, except that the terminal is at the end. So every aircraft that comes in will go into the terminal. Now the issue you're going to have with this one is that the terminal will get chocker and there's nowhere for the aircraft to go. You cannot pass an aircraft on the runway in this. You can't do any sort of 3-point turns or anything. So you really have to be on the ball with this one. It's very, very difficult indeed. The exact example I was referring to is London City, where the aircraft land and then they have to do sort of a turnaround on the apron here, and you have to get them back along this part of the runway into the terminal whilst aircraft are still landing, and this gets chocker really quickly, and then they start backing up onto the end of the runway. It becomes pretty difficult, let's just say that, and that's just at level 5. What should we do today? Let's have a look at John F. Kennedy. Now you get the option to pick which runways you can have open, and you've got these different types of gameplay. You've got continuous play, building traffic where it gets increasingly busier, time trial, basically you got 15 minutes, how many aircraft can you land successfully, and then you've got the move 100, which is how long is it going to take you to move 100. Pretty self-explanatory. So let's do building traffic. I think that's a good one for a review. Now, everything has had a bit of a polish. I do have to admit that everything looks pretty good. If we go in and look at the 3D aircraft, for example, they look pretty nice. Big Fat Simulations, obviously, is the developer's name. Fly Anywhere for $99. I don't know that company. But, yeah. I mean, it looks okay. It's... it's running a good solid 60 FPS. There's no issues there. The explosions when aircraft hit each other, they are also pretty good, actually. I mean, it's not mind-blowingly wonderful explosions, but I think it's better than the original version, which I reviewed quite a long time ago. So I'm stretching my mind back to remember exactly what it looked like. But I think the explosions and everything really has had a bit of a polish, and it looks pretty good. I mean, if you compared this to something like Tower 3D Pro, you wouldn't be amiss for arguing that this actually looks a bit better. I think, personally. I think it's crisper, it's neater, it's tidier. I mean, they both have these horrible textures. Lack of care and attention there. I mean, they could have done something better with this, but there you go. Oh, look, we've got an aircraft coming into land already because I'm chatting too much and not paying attention to what's going on. So you've got your information here, your ADS and your radar. I can't remember the name of these things, but you know what they are. You can correct me, let me know in the comments, because I've clearly forgotten. What you do is one thing you can't do, and you couldn't do in the original, was click on the label. And I do find that a bit frustrating. But anyway, click on the aircraft and pick a runway for him to take off on. And what's a good runway for you to take off on? Let's get you taking off on 13 left. And I think we'll send all of them down to 13 left. Why not? Because they're all ready to go. Now this aircraft up here is going to hold at the moment, so we give him permission to cross. This aircraft here is going to get permission to cross, and you can see that everything's moving pretty quickly. Now I've got to say, it doesn't have voice recognition, and for me, Tower 3D Pro, Tower 3D Pro is a simulator that is lacking in a few areas, whereas this is very clearly an arcade game, and it's interesting that they work so similar, in such a similar way. I mean, obviously they're very similar games. They're both ATC based. Is this guy just going to literally... Oh good, okay. For a minute there I thought he was just going to drive straight into that aircraft and not sort of acknowledge that it's there at all. What about these two? So they're going to do a head-on collision. No? Is he going to hit him with the wing? Pretty close stuff. Oh, where did this aircraft come from? Normal exit. Okay, so we're going to give this one immediate takeoff rights. And we'll get this guy to line up and wait. That's those two sorted. So I mean, already, and this is building up. This is a level 5, and it's set to build up. Can you expedite off here? I don't think so. You're going too fast, aren't you? Have to slam the old brakes on. Maybe you can come off here. Who knows? Yep, you've got time to cross. In fact, technically, you're not crossing runway 13 left, so not a major issue there. I am really not paying that much attention to my aircraft and what's going on here. So this guy's on hold. We'll give him permission to cross. And there's our first aircraft taking off. Now, we're probably going to lose points for aircraft flying too close to each other. I mean, these two are literally going to... they're literally going to hit. But they're going to come very, very, very... Look at this. Luckily, he broke left at the right moment. But now he's going to come awfully close to this one. So maybe we'll have a mid-air collision straight away, who knows? And you'll get to see that. Oh, crikey. Who gave you permission to cross? First explosion. Oh, that was epically close. That was so close. I am not paying attention to what I'm doing here whatsoever. Already we have way too many aircraft coming in and taking off. It's very difficult to get my head around it. Right, let's get this guy to take off. We'll get you to take off immediately. We'll get you to take off immediately. We'll just get rid of all of them because they're all a problem to me at the moment. Right, so aircraft will park at gate. Perfect. The traffic rate is increasing. Well, I'll be quite honest with you, it's going pretty flipping fast already, and I am not paying attention to what's going on. So I've got two aircraft taking off at exactly the same time here on the same runway, so that's an immediate fail in Tower 3D Pro, and should be an immediate fail in just about every circumstance known to man. God, blimey, that was close, wasn't it? And that's where the arcade aspect of this game sort of comes into play. Yes, you can cross now, it's safe finally. You're ready to go, so you can go 13 left. Anyone else ready to go? Yes, you're ready to go. 13. Come on now. 13 left for you. You can also control the aircraft that are coming in. You can issue a go around command. You can ask them to fly slower, faster. You can click on this and it will take you into the actual... What the... Oh, okay, that's another aircraft landing. So we got two aircraft landing at exactly the same time. 4 right he's landing on, which is pretty cool. Let's go back to tower cam. Yeah, I mean it's pretty intense. This is very much an ATC game. There is no denying the fact. There's no denying the fact that this is complex and difficult. And if you want to do it properly, you really have to have your eyes on the game and your brain switched on. You're ready to go. 13 left. Off you chop. You're ready to go. Oh. Nope, can't click key for some reason. 13 left. There we go. So this aircraft can just wait because we have an aircraft coming in here. And you can just sit behind him. So you can see that traffic build-up's going to happen pretty quickly. Now, I've got to be totally honest and say that I've always felt that the price of this game has been a little too high. I've always felt that from day one. And I'll be honest, I just don't feel... Excuse me, I don't feel... If I'm being honest, I don't feel that there is enough new content here to justify the £15-16 price tag that it comes with. It doesn't seem to offer much more than 3D Airport 3D version 1. So I mean, that's entirely up to you to decide. Now, if you don't already own Airport Madness 3D Volume 1, then this is a great game, and at the price of I think it's, let's have a look here, $15.49 I think it is at the moment. I mean, that's pretty good, I guess. Just going to get all these guys to take off immediately, why not? That guy can just sit there and wait for a bit. So we've got nothing. Oh! So they basically drove into each other there. That's a bit frustrating. It had to happen eventually, didn't it? 19 planes. Let's do an instant replay. Oh my gosh, there's an airplane. Oh, they didn't drive into each other at all. I had a Boeing 747 land on that tiny little... Oh, man. Well, I'll be honest, I wasn't paying that much attention. This is a good game. If I go back to main menu and look at high scores, this kind of stuff is new. You got your career stats. It will tell you how good you are at a particular, all the airports that you've played on. You can see I've had quite a few crashes. 1 at Lucla, 4 at London City. That was a nightmare, the London City one, it really was. And obviously just 1 now at JFK. But it's good stuff. Oh, explanation. Oh, there we go. So here's your rank, your level, your competence rating. This is all new stuff, but I think that could easily have been part of Airport Madness 3D version 1. I really do. That's not to say this isn't a good game. This is a good game. And it's fun and it's challenging, but it is arcadey, so maybe it's a good stepping stone if you want to get into a simulation like Tower 3D Pro, which is very advanced and has the voice recognition, etc. Then this is a good sort of stepping stone to get there, I would say. This is far more complex and advanced than your old traditional. If you remember back when mobile phones first came out and you had those airport landing ATC kind of games, it's far more advanced than that. It's kind of right in the middle between a mobile game and an advanced simulator. So from that perspective, it does pretty well. And yeah, I mean, hopefully you've seen some gameplay footage here. I don't think it's that much different from Airport Madness 3D Volume 1. So if you've already got that, maybe wait until this is in the sale if you're interested in buying it. I wouldn't rush out and buy this for £15.49 if you've already got the first version, because it just doesn't feel like it's really advanced that much more, is what I'm saying. But with that little bit of frustration aside, I'd say it's a good game. It works well. I don't really have any issues with it. When it came out, when it was originally released, it was full of bugs, but now it seems to be pretty stable. I haven't really seen any major issues. Taxiing on the ground seems to work okay now, but yeah, I mean, overall it's a decent game, and if you enjoyed watching this, then you'll probably enjoy the game. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informative. If you've got any questions, suggestions, recommendations, let me know in the comments section and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.